Here it is, Tim Lee, aka Gearhead Generator X story. Alright, so living out here in northern Arizona, I have found myself, if I want power, I have to make it myself with a generator. I am in Flagstaff down off of Mountain Air camping last year sometime, and come across this campsite. I'm out exploring, and I come across this campsite that you can obviously tell has been abandoned by somebody who had a lot of stuff. They had a square body Ford with a camper on it and trailer. They moved in out there. They were out there for quite some time, but it has been abandoned. And according to some people that have been out there as well, they say it's been that way for over a year. So I want to find out what all is there. So I do, and I come across this generator right here. Now, it didn't look anything like this when I found it. It looked brand new, full tank of gas, and it fired right up. Not by the pull starter. Pull starter thing was broken, but it had an electric start, and it worked. So I fired it up, and it ran like that. Ran well, worked well. It was noisy. The muffler was a little loose. Eventually, the muffler fell off. Now, when you're broke, okay, you don't have the $20 to go buy a new muffler, so what do? I compromise, okay, improvise. And it ended up being this muffler right here, where, it was a pipe to a pipe kind of a thing, but, it was a contraption, and it worked. Now, if you don't know generators really basically make most of their noise from the intake side of things. But I ran this thing for a while, and then the carburetor started acting up on me, and because I took it apart, put it back together, one of the gaskets started leaking, so now the carburetor's leaking gas, and I don't have the money to go get a gasket for the carburetor. Don't even know where to do it. So what do? I improvise again, and I start running it on propane. I actually punch a hole in this little air cleaner thing right here, okay, and run a propane bottle to it, so it's running on straight propane. Works good. Now you have to manually adjust the throttle with the propane bottle, but at the same time I'm still making power and doing it basically for free. Now, this little camper right here, okay, I bought back in Texas. It was sitting in some guy's driveway that had been there with flat tires and stuff, and when I had money and I see something that I thought was cool, I see if I could buy it, and I did. I bought this little trailer for $500, and have been camping out of this thing because it's my way out of Ash Fork. Ash Fork is where I'm trying to get out of. I have started a GoFundMe page, and this is part of that. And if anybody wants to help donate my cause, I am on a minor setback on the way for a major comeback. But it evolves into me trying to get the generator inside the trailer because it's so noisy, to the point where I even drill a hole in the side of my trailer for the muffler to come out so it can run. Now, I could try to get it in there where it all fits, nicely, and it all has to be up front because this trailer has to be weighted correctly or it is untowable if the weight's not there. So the generator had to go to the front because it is heavy. Now, pull starter thing doesn't work, take it off, don't need it. Carburetor doesn't work, it's in the way, take it off, don't need it. So now I have this kind of a contraption right here, this thing that basically led into the intake. I had to turn that around, unbolt it and turn it around. So these are the parts that Tim Lee, aka Gearhead, has decided he no longer needs on this generator, even the carburetor. And don't need it. Take it off. Let's just avoid that thing. And I do. Now, here's what I've learned, okay? This wasn't a failure, but it's something I've learned that doesn't work. And that is, if you have some sort of a contraption that allows air in, you get a vacuum leak, things will lean out and they run hot. And to the point to where this thing was running, smoking a lot, but running, and to the point where it got so hot and it broke the crankshaft off the thing. And when it made the noise of quitting, I knew without looking that it was done. I need a new generator. So, a friend of mine, Bill, lives out off of Ghost Rider in Dooney Park. Him and Doug live out there. And Bill, has a generator. Since I've known Bill, this generator has been sitting out in his yard uncovered, and last night I asked him if he'll sell it, and he will for $100. I owe him $100 because I didn't have the money. But this is the generator, this old Onan right here. There's my other old Onan that it runs off of points as well, and it needs points or something, but it's not running, and so I buy this generator from Bill. Now, as you can see, this little contraption right here, it comes up to this funnel. Okay, that was my temporary fuel source for the night, just to see if this thing does run. So when I get it back here last night, I started hooking it all up, and as you can tell, it is certainly not OSHA approved. Okay, there's the battery cables onto a battery, and the start button doesn't work, obviously, because, you know, I own it. And so I had to take it apart and figure out what was going on. Start switch doesn't work. But what do? I get lucky once again, and my little test light has now told me I start poking around with shit, because I am no generator mechanic by no stretch of the imagination. And I start poking around, and I finally found this little spot right here. Okay, where it does. And I'm thinking, hell yeah, now we're on. So, now, what I've done here, because I don't have gasoline or a tank or anything like that, that little contraption right there was just temporary. But what I have figured out is, you see my propane bottle here? And then it just runs a hose right off into the intake right here like that. Now, when you do this, okay, you just turn this gas on like this, or you just turn it on just a little bit, not too much, and then you give her a little fuel, okay, and then you come over here and you hit this, like this. And you got power, baby. Oh yeah, alrighty. That, my friend, that's how a gearhead makes shit happen.